working movie studio. All right, we're not done yet, folks. It's time to introduce you to my co-host. You might recognize him from Saturday Night Live or The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Oh, that's right, it is Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Amy.
And the greatest driver.
Jessica.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Amy
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, everybody. I have some very important safety matters to go over, so I'm going to take myself very seriously, and I hope you do the same. First, if you need any guest assistance or have a medical emergency, or you drop anything of value off the side of the tram or have any sound or video issues, reach up and pull the red E-cord that runs along the center ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please stay seated and keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Remember to use that cord above your head if you need any assistance. This studio is private property, so anytime during the tour you drop your phone or can't wait to use the restroom, pull that cord and remain seated. Please no smoking of any kind during the tour. Be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects. You want to have your cameras out for those great photo opportunities, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. Finally, for your safety and those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while on board. Whew, we got through that. All right, everybody, coming up as soon as we cross this intersection, I'm going to have you look out the left and right side of the tram. We're going to be heading down our Universal timeline. These are just a few of the over 1,000 films we made in our rich 107-year history as a studio. Now, our founder, Carl Leveley, actually founded the studio on the East Coast in 1912, shortly after he bought this land and started making movies here, and was one of the first people to do so, essentially making him a founding father of modern Hollywood, and the whole reason that we get to enjoy the magic of cinema under the California sun today. Now, back at Carl Leveley's time, we were making silent movies, meaning folks like you could go watch the show. You could hoop, you could holler, you could pick up no problem because no sound was being recorded. But as we know, into the 1930s, we added sound to movies. So we had to change up the way that we made them. So we started using sound stages. And what is a sound stage? Well, it's a giant warehouse structure where we isolate all the light and sound from the outside world. Once we get to the bottom of this hill, you're going to find one of the oldest sound stages in all of Hollywood, folks. Before we get there, if you do look out the right side of the tram now, we are passing our real-life working fire station. That's not a movie set, that's an actual fire station. Universal City's a real city, so we need our very own first responders. We even have our own postal code. There they are! Our real heroes of the Universal lot, our fire department. Now, folks, once we get to the bottom of this hill, out the left side of the tram, you're going to see Soundstage 12. It's one of the oldest sound stages in all of Hollywood. Literally, if you traveled inside the walls of Soundstage 12 back in time, you would find Frankenstein's lab, Dracula's castle, the dead from Scarface, the top of the clock tower, and that iconic scene at the end of the very first Jurassic Park movie were all filmed inside the walls you're seeing out the left side of the tram, folks. Pretty incredible Hollywood history. It was most recently home to The Voice on NBC. The Voice has since moved across our lot. They're still here shooting, and Voice host Kelly Clarkson is still here for her hit talk show, The Kelly Clarkson Show. She also just hosted the American Song Contest with Snoop Dogg, all right here in the Universal lot. We'll just play out just a little bit so you guys can see what these sound stages look like on the inside, but there's no sets in there, and I'm going to pause this while I give you a little anatomy of a sound stage. So you can see they're kind of like airline hangars, and then we load in all our set pieces and our worlds to build out these sets. All of the sets, if they're going to be interior rooms, they don't have ceilings, so we can shine light down in them. It's a fun fact, always acting on a set with no ceiling. All right, folks, you're going to see these little red lights on platforms to the left of the doorways. Those are called wigwags. If those flash like sirens, that means the cameras are rolling and I got to pipe down. Those giant doors are called elephant doors because you can fit an elephant through them. We probably have. We used to have an active zoo on this lot. These days, they're used to load in our giant set pieces. Set pieces like the aisles of Superstore. Superstore that was shooting right over here, these sound stages up ahead. After Superstore finished their many successful seasons, the aisles of Bayside I moved in for the reboot of Saved by the Bell on the Peacock Network. After that, we moved in the HBO show Hacks. And after that, we moved into Bel Air, season 2 of Bel Air, the reimagining of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I think the reason 7 and 8 are so popular is they're across the way from the Big Kahuna, Soundstage 14, coming up on the left side of the tram. It's one of the biggest sound stages in all of Hollywood, you guys. It's got an underwater tank. And often the production will take over all 3 of these. They're going to fill this parking lot with a bunch of trucks and trailers, like what you're seeing here times 10, folks. And in the movies, we call that a base camp. We call it a base camp because it literally takes an army of people to make a movie or a TV show. So we like to borrow a lot of their lingo. So let's say you're on a movie set and somebody wants to know your location. They're going to say, hey, what's your 20? What's your 20? Just like they do in the military. If you want to say, yes, I agree, you say, copy that. So the next time you're on a big budget movie set and someone's like, yo, kid, get a 20 on my sandwich. What do you say? You say, copy that. You guys are pros. Also inside Soundstage 14 was Mission Control and Apollo 13.
Realism was an essential element for Apollo 13. After all, we were recreating an important moment in American history, a moment many Americans witnessed on television. We thought about filming in Houston, Texas, where the original control room for the Apollo missions still exists. Unfortunately, NASA's engineers didn't have filmmaking in mind when they built Mission Control, since there was no room for the elaborate camera cranes and tracks we needed for the shots. We had to build our own Mission Control. Everything had to be exact, even down to the tiniest detail.
Alrighty, folks, we're rolling through our very famous television alley. We have a long history of making TV along this corridor. Shows like The Jeffersons, All in the Family. These days we've been making hit shows like The Good Place, Good Girls. We also just made Mr. Mayor, Keenan. Never Have I Ever. Just finished shooting some scenes here for season 4 on Netflix. And the new version of Quantum Leap was shooting here. So you can see some of the production elements outside these windows. You can see some of the flats we reserved for our sets inside one of our storage hangars over there. But it's cool. Often when you're going inside these sound stages where the sets are in there, it's almost like you're backstage at a theater. You know when you're backstage, like behind a set, it almost just looks like a flat, and then you round the corner and you see the full world. See a bit more production elements out the right side of the tram. But folks, on the left side of the tram, you are going to see our production bungalows. These small brown buildings are small, but they're mighty. Because a lot of the big decisions for what goes on inside these sound stages gets made right over here. Like what movie they're going to make, who's going to direct that movie, and who's going to star in that movie. Now, speaking of stars, these bungalows used to be movie stars' dressing rooms back in the day. We're going to come upon a conjoined bungalow in just a moment that belonged to Joanne Woodward and Paul Newman. They were romantically involved at the time, so we gave them our honeymoon suite. The bungalow, as soon as we cross this intersection, you'll see it right there, Joanne Woodward and Paul Newman. And even Eddie Murphy used to have his dressing room over here back in the day. There's that conjoined one I mentioned before. But these days, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has his office here, as does Elizabeth Banks, star of the Pitch Perfect movies and the Hunger Games. She's also a big shot producer, and she's got her office right over here. But folks, our most famous office is going to be coming up next, 5195, silhouette to the right side of the door. Alfred Hitchcock's actual office. Car 1 is about to pass it now on the left side of the tram. Alfred Hitchcock's actual